The Lives of the Saints by Father Alban Butler, September 20th. St. Eustachius and Companions, Martyrs. St. Eustachius, called by the Greeks Eustathius and before his conversion named Placidus, was a nobleman who suffered martyrdom at Rome about the reign of Adrian, together with his wife Theopista, called before her baptism Tatiana, and two sons Agapius and Theopistus. St. Eustathius is among St. Eustachius is among the most famous martyrs of the Church, venerated for centuries both in the East and in the West. He is counted among the 14 holy helpers, is patron of hunters, and at least since the 8th century gave his name to the titular church of a deacon cardinal in Rome. His legend relate that he was a Roman general in the armies of the Emperor Trajan. His name was Placidus, and he was very fond of hunting. He was once in pursuit of some valuable game in the solitude of the mountains, when he saw coming towards him a large deer on whose horns appeared the figure of Jesus Christ on the cross. The same story is told in the legend of St. Hubertus and in those of other saints, and a voice that emerged from the apparition called him by name. It is said that this prodigy occurred in the Italian region of Guadagnolo, between Tivoli and Palestrina. The extraordinary vision had the effect of instantly converting Placido to Christianity. The general and his entire family were baptized, and he took the name Eustace. His wife was named Theopistus, and his sons Agapito and Theopisto. Shortly after his conversion, Eustace lost all his property and, after a series of misfortunes, was forced to separate from his family. At a critical time for the empire, he was called to take command of an army. Good times returned, and he was able to be reunited with his wife and children. But then, when the welfare of this world was within his grasp, he refused to offer sacrifices to the gods during the ceremony held in Rome for his victory at the head of the imperial arms. As a consequence of that refusal, Eustace, his wife, and children were erected on a huge bronze bull under which a bonfire was lit so that all the members of the family perished, roasted. These Greek names they must have taken after their conversion to the faith. The ancient sacramentaries mention in the prayer for the festival of St. Eustachius his profuse charities to the poor, on whom he bestowed all his large possessions, some time before he laid down his life for his faith. An ancient church in Rome was built in his honor, with the title of a diacony. The same now gives title to a cardinal. His body lay deposited in this church, till, in the 12th age, it was translated to that of Saint Denis near Paris. His shrine was pillaged in this place, and part of his bones burnt by the Huguenots in 1567, but a portion of them still remains in the parish church, which bears the name of St. Eustachius in Paris. How noble is it to see integrity and virtue triumphing over interest, passion, racks, and death, and setting the whole world at defiance. To see a great man preferring the least duty of justice, truth, or religion to the favor or menace of princes, readily quitting a state, friends, country, and life, rather than consent to anything against his conscience, and at the same time meek, humble, and modest in his sufferings, forgiving from his heart, and tenderly loving his most unjust and treacherous enemies and persecutors. Passion and revenge often make men furious, and the lust of power, worldly honor, applause, or wealth may prompt them to brave dangers. But these passions leave them weak and dastardly in other cases, and are themselves the basest slavery and most grievous crimes and misery. Religion is the only basis on which true magnanimity and courage can stand. It so enlightens the mind as to set a man above all human events, and to preserve him in all changes and trials steady and calm in himself. It secures him against the errors, the injustices, and frowns of the world, is by its powerful motives the strongest spur to all generous actions, and under afflictions and sufferings a source of unalterable peace and overflowing joy, which spring from an assured confidence that God's will is always most just and holy, and that he will be its protector and rewarder. Does religion exert this powerful influence in us? Does it appear in our hearts, in our actions and conduct? It is not enough to encounter dangers with resolution. We must, with equal courage and constancy, vanquish pleasure and the softer passions, or we possess not the virtue of true fortitude.